Hey guys, wanted to show you how to play roulette. It's actually a pretty straightforward game. You have a table here. You've got numbers 1 through 36 and 0 and 00. You've got a wheel that matches all the numbers here on the board. First thing you're going to need to do is come up and get chips. You can use chips that you may have had from another table from other gambling. But in roulette, we usually use different color non-denominational chips. This is basically something so that everybody else can play all these different colors, and for the house to keep track of who to pay and who to take. So when you come in, usually you get like a stack of say like $50 or something like that. So deal gives you $50, and then you're ready to go. You can put your chips in any spot that you'd like. Table minimums are usually posted. Usually they're about $5 or $10 in the case of a $10 table. What you will need to do, keep in mind that there are two areas of the table. First, we have the outside, which takes care of all of the, 1 to 18, even, odd, black, red, all of the even bets. And then we have we have the first 12, second 12, and third 12, which cover these respective areas. Also, we have a columns bet, which takes care of the entire column of numbers. That's the outside. If you're going to bet the outside, you're going to need to bet the table minimum on each spot there. The area inside, this is the fun part here. The inside, you have to bet a total of $10 at a $10 table, right? And you could put them any way you like. And the way that the chips go, you could put them on any single number, or you could put them in any series of numbers, right, to cover certain areas that you may want to cover. The more numbers that you cover, the better your chances of winning, but the less you'll actually get paid. And the way that it works is as follows. If you're betting any one of these here, odd, even, high, low, black, red, right, they all pay even money. So if the number were to, if you got 1 to 18, number 14 comes up, you get paid even money, 1 to 1. Right? If you were playing one of these numbers here, say if you're at second 12, and the ball lands on number 17, then you would win here. But then this pays 2 to 1. Also, if you have a bet down in the columns, it's the same thing, right? If say 15 comes up and it's in this column, this gets paid 2 to 1. And the inside numbers, it's where things get a little bit more interesting, where you can bet a number straight out, right? Which say if number 13 comes up on the spin, you get paid 35 to 1. You could also put them on the line to signify that you want to put money on more than one number at a time. So this chip here, it covers 13 and 14. This is a 2-number bet. This pays 17 to 1, right? And the same would be here, which would cover 7 and 10, or here, which would cover single 0 and 1. Also, if you want to have if you want to bet on 3 numbers at a time, you can do that. This is called a street, where you have the money on 10, 11, or 12, right? Any one of these numbers comes out when you're betting this, it gets paid 11 to 1. Also, the other 3-number bet we have here is called the basket, which is a 0, 00, and number 2. It's the same thing. If one of these numbers comes out, it gets paid 11 to 1. Then you have a 4-number bet. It's called a corner, where you're going to bet, 13, 14, 16, and 17. This is actually my favorite bet here, right? And one of these 4 numbers comes out, then it gets paid 8 to 1. Then you have a 5-number bet. There's the only 5-number bet on the board. You have 0, 00, 1, 2, 3. So these 5 numbers, this pays 6 to 1. And then last, we have what's called a line bet, which is these 6 numbers. When you have them on the line like this, this covers 13 to 18. And if one of these numbers comes out, it pays 5 to 1. And basically, what happens is that people will put their money on a whole bunch of different numbers, and Then see the guy here, he wants to bet like 10 on even, and let's say he wants to put a whole lot on the second 12. Then what happens? Spin the wheel. Dealer waves no more bets. We'll find out that the number is 20, which covers this bet right here. So then losers get wiped off the table. And as it turns out, it was both even. And it's in the second 12, which would pay 2 to 1. So that's his money. I'll just count this out. So this would be 20. So in the case that the dealer doesn't have enough chips, then they would pay you in cash. These chips that you could take to any other table. It takes care of that. And then these bets here, see 17 to 1. 17 to 1, that's 4 times. So that's $68, which you probably get 3. And then some combination. And this comes off the table, and then you're able to take off or place your bets again. And that's how to play roulette.